So on page 17, this is where we're getting to equations. Now the good thing about equations is y'all have been doing it since 6th grade. So you should be really good at this section. What you do is you're just trying to get the variable by itself. So this first one we're going to distribute. 4n times, or 4 times n is 4n. 4 times 1 is 4. Distribute this side. 2 times 11 is 22. 2 times negative n is negative 2n. Now combine your like terms. And then subtract 4 on both sides. You would get 6n equals 22 minus 4 is 18. Divide by 6. Get n equals 3. So that's just a typical equation type question. Now I'm going to show you all something that is going to blow your mind. Have I shown you what Desmos could do with equations?
No.
Okay. So what you can do, let's say that you get to the SOL and you see this question, you completely forget how to distribute. You forget everything you've learned this year, which it could happen. I know, like test anxiety and stuff like that, I know you may get a brain fart or something. What you can do is you can type in the Desmos, but if you type in the Desmos, you have to choose a variable that's going to be on the graph. What is the one that's used the most on the graph? X. So what I recommend doing is instead of typing this in with the n, use the same thing, but instead of instead of an n, you put in x. So literally, I'm typing in the same thing that was here, except I just changed my n's to x's. So type that in exactly. So 4 x plus 1 equals 2 11 minus x. Okay, if you notice, what this does is this gives you a graph. If you click on this graph and click on the point, it tells you what the x value is. What is the x value?
3.
So the answer should be 3. This is something that math teachers don't really want you to know, but the reason I'm telling you this is if you get to the SOL and you completely forgotten how to do this by hand, use Desmos. But just remember, if you type in, like if we go in here and type in n, it won't take it.
What would you do? Y will do it on the y-axis?
Y sometimes gets weird. Oh yeah, okay. Still works for the same thing. I always like to use X, but yeah, it does look like it would work for Y as well. So literally, that's just if you completely forget how to do everything, or to check yourself. Most definitely use it to check yourself. And if you have a question like number 2, or I guess that's number 2. I don't know what this is. 1.5. If you get a question like this one, with the fractions, I don't know why, but people panic when they see fractions. So if you're unsure that working out by hand is the right answer, just type in the Desmos. Now the 1/8 plus 3/4, you could do that by hand by getting like common denominators, but we're just going to do 1/8 plus 3/4. So you get 7/8. 7/8 k plus 9, subtract 9, and you get -7 equals 7/8 k. Then to get the k by itself, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal will be 8/7. So you get k equals -8. So you could do that by hand, but to check yourself, use Desmos. And guys, we still, like, once you go into geometry and algebra 2, they still want you to work out these equations by hand. But Desmos is a good tool to check yourself with. But we don't want you to forget how to work out equations, because equations are one of the most important things you'll learn.
Yeah, we're always going to know how to use Desmos.
Huh?
I said, yeah, but we're always going to know how to use Desmos.
That's true. But it's good to...
You use Desmos instead of just writing it out.
On the SOL, yeah. Okay, so once again, whenever you type that in, just change the letters instead of K's to X's, you get -8. The equations are a big part of your SOL. So once again, that's why I stress to you all, if you pay attention to what I do with Desmos, there's no way you're going to fail your SOL. Because you can use Desmos on, I would say you can use Desmos to find the right answer at least 80 to 85% of the test. Once again, we can work it out by hand. I still like working out by hand because that is important for you to know how to do.
This one we put the extra answer to.
What's that?
This one is the one that we put the extra answer.
Exactly, yeah. So -11 plus 17 is 6. Divide by 4, and you're going to notice it would be E, which E, y'all pretty much already knew was going to be that one because I told you to add that. If I tell you to add an answer, more than likely it's going to be that answer. But once again, just to show you again, you could type this into Desmos, and it will find your answer way quicker. And the nice thing about Desmos is it is a computer. 1.5, we know 1.5 is 3/2. It shouldn't mess up as long as you type in everything correctly. Then 3, this is one that you would cross multiply. So you do 3 parenthesis x plus 3, and then 4 parenthesis 2x plus 6. You distribute. 3 times x, I'm going to write it down here because I'm running out of room, or over here. 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 2x is 8x, 4 times 6 is 24. You combine your like terms. I'm just going to subtract 8x. You can do whatever you want to do. That make it -5x plus 9 equals 24. Subtract 9, -5x equals 15. Divide by -5, you get x equals -3. So once again, that one should have been E. And guys, make sure you are copying down the work, because whenever I take up your packets on Monday, I am checking for the work. If you don't have work on this page, you're going to get this whole page wrong.
I got like every bit of that one on.
Okay. So, once again, you can type that into Desmos just to check your answer. The easiest way to check it, or whenever you have like a bunch of stuff on top and bottom you got to type in. Let's see, I'm trying to make it where y'all can see both. So if we press the division sign first, x plus 3 over 4 equals, press the division sign again, 2x plus 6 over 3. Once you do that, you'll get -3 for your answer. So once again, Desmos can be very, very helpful if you use it correctly. Anybody still need that? I know that part got a little bunched up, so if anybody needs me to explain that. Okay. All right, number 4. This one you would distribute. So -5x minus 10 equals 2. Negative times x is -x. Negative times -4 is a +4. Then you combine your like terms. That would be -5x minus 10 equals 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. Add x. Add x, you get -5 plus 1 is -4x minus 10 equals 6. Add 10, and you get -4x equals 16. Divide by -4, x equals -4. then, once again, you can type that into Desmos just to check yourself, just to make sure you did it correctly. Those are all X's, so you don't have to change anything. All right, and once you type that in, you should get -4 into Desmos as well.